Good morning, y'all. What's up? It's your boy ARP. We back here with the Sorry Is True podcast. We here. Y'all see the title. Meek Mill's artist Garci exposed by Oschino. Yo, Oschino has been on a rampage lately, man. We'll get into all of it. We'll break down the backstory for those that are out the loop. I got some videos to bring up. I'll give some of my reaction and my feedback to all of this. Talk about some of the pitfalls that I see, right? Real quick too, y'all bear with me, man. I came down with a cold. It pretty much dropped on me last night. I had the Theraflu. I think I might have came down with it like maybe when I was at Chuck E. Cheese this past Saturday with all the kids running around for my boy's little son's birthday. You know how you get older, you get sick, and you just start trying to blame shit. Like it was there, it was that, it was Chuck E. Cheese. I don't even know. That's my only guess. So bear with me, y'all. But let me tell y'all why this one was interesting to me, right? So Meek Mill's artist Garci gets exposed by Oschino. A lot of us definitely know Oschino, right? Especially if you come from my era. State Property, Rockefeller, Oschino, Chris, Sparks, Freeway, Beanie Siegel, Jay, like that whole movement. And a movement it was. Fast forward, this is like 20, 25 years ago, something like that. Oschino still has found a good way to remain relevant. He's a very, very charismatic talker, right? He does YouTube now. I think he does paintings. I don't think he's done too much music lately, but I've always continued to follow Oschino because I've always liked what he represented as a man. From the outside looking in, Oschino seems like he has some of those character traits that I identify with. For example, I'm not going to trade certain morals and principles no matter what. Like you give me the $10 million in front of me on the table and you say, okay, now go against this grain over here. And you say, I can't do it. No, thank you. Take your $10 million. That's what I've always seen in Oschino. And I developed a respect for him because of that. It's one of the reasons also why I brought him up here on the podcast with me to talk about Charleston White. I respect Oschino, man. I really do. I don't know him personally, but I respect him. Now, Garci. Where I know Garci from, if you know me, you know that I've followed the Philly music scene damn near my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Philly has been instrumental, especially in the battle rap world, right? So Garci comes from a group that once upon a time was one of my favorite groups to listen to. I know I got my slaughterhouses and my woos and my outcasts and all that, but I'm talking about like a underground group that made some great music by the name of Ape Gang. Okay, out of this collective called Ape Gang, you have somebody by the name of like Ready Rock, great artist. You got Hard Body Preem. To this day, I play Hard Body Preem's mixtapes, Concrete Audio in the gym when I'm working out. To this day, um, you had Garci, right? Garci was a rapper that was part of this group as well. Fast forward, we heard news of Meek Mill signing this new artist by the name of Garci. But to me, Garci isn't new. It's all Philly scene artists and rappers. They all come from the same era and they all know each other. Uh Prior, I would say, what was it, like last year or maybe the year before? Garci hit headlines because a video came out and the perception of it was that he pressed another well-known Philly rapper by the name of Mike Knox for disrespecting Meek Mill. I think I covered it. You've seen people like academics covered it. A lot of podcast channels covered it. And actually, let me bring the video up real quick for people that either didn't see it or forgot. Once again, this is Garci standing off to the right in the shorts or the blue shorts, and this is Mike Knox, what appears to be, well, not appears to be, issuing an apology to Meek Mill and Garci.
Me and Garci had a conversation. We just bumped into each other. We had a serious conversation about this situation with me and how I was out of pocket, how I was wrong, right? How I was fucked up, how I was disrespectful, amen, how I was man time, how I got caught up in the bullshit with the Instagram and being disrespectful. And we had something going on together where we all were supposed to do something together and switch. And I got on some bullshit with on the Meek Mill hate train, right? With the Meek Mill hate train, with the disrespect and the saying anything that wasn't supposed to be said on man time. And as a man, I apologize. I was wrong. It shouldn't have happened. It's not going to happen again. That's not how we move. That's not how we handle shit. I should have got on the phone, called guards, called anybody from the Dream Chasers, had a conversation. I did a formal apology the first time, then I turned around and got mad at something, that I could have picked up the phone and had a conversation with you, had a conversation with me, or had a conversation with anybody else that's on that side. As a man, Meek, I apologize. As a man, Garci, I apologize. And this shit won't happen. Respect. As a man, and this is, I don't care what niggas think, how niggas feel. We came up in this shit together. We chastised each other, all kinds of shit. From the Batcave days, I respect this man. I respect niggas. I was wrong. Period, bottom line. Yeah. And that's as a man. Respect. I respect that.
All right. I'm going to get into topic number one based on that video before I get into Oschino and the title. Thank you, Anthony Johnson. I don't know where my mind is at this morning. Of the Ape Gang members, I don't know any of them personally. I spoke to well, the ones that I mentioned. I spoke to Preem before about some new music because just I'm over here like, yo, my man, when's the next joint? We've gone back and forth a couple times. You know, he salutes and he knows me from RBE. I never spoke to Garci. Maybe had a couple DMs before we're ready. But Stiz is my fucking guy. Like you mentioned here, Stiz is running Battle Academy right now. Stiz just sent me a clip of his song that he's about to drop on King Bao. He's got a diss song coming out. He's putting a visual to it as well. I probably will do a reaction to it. But Stiz is my fucking guy. So yes, y'all in the chat, especially my Philly and my up north heads, y'all are aware of Ape Gang. Y'all are aware of the Philly DVD era as well as the Philly battle rap scene, the Philly music scene. So shout out to my nigga Stiz, of course. I'm tripping. Y'all have seen Stiz up here with me, giving y'all classic podcast episodes and shit. But all right, topic around that apology video. So since that apology happened, I've seen interviews from Garci speaking on it, and I've seen Garci in certain ways at times, you know, chuckling and saying things that if I was Mike Knox would disturb me after having that situation and us departing, going our separate ways. On the flip side, I've also seen interviews from Mike Knox talking in ways where almost like he's talking down the moment. And if you're Garci, maybe you're looking at it like, nigga, do you see that video and you talking down on the moment? Or like, here's the wrong in the moment, right? Clearly, if you watch that video, it does not look like a like one of those moments where you link up with your old homie and just like, man, listen, we need to get past all of this, man. Like I apologize, I was wrong. You know, I shouldn't have said this or I shouldn't have done this. And you know, let's shake on it and let's let it be, man. It didn't look like that. There's times where Garci is alley-ooping words in to Mike Knox and Mike Knox is repeating him. Like he wants them to go with a certain script, like you got on a Meek Mill hate train or you wasn't on man time. He's saying things that he wants Mike Knox to repeat. And Mike Knox, you know, Mike Knox is a guy that has a strong reputation out there, right? I know him from that scene as well. But I'm just saying, you watch this video with any two eyes and ears, and it looks like you're being pressed. It looks like there's pressure. It looks like God knows what's off camera. And you followed a certain script. You may have meant the apology, but it looked like you was on a script to a degree. So the topic around that is, if that was to be received as a genuine apology, I agree with what people have said after that, which is the video should have never come out. The video should have never come out. Now, we're in this can't trust nobody, social media, internet clout era. I have a million videos and screenshots and text messages of people that's not public. Why? Because I don't trust them. I learned that all the way back in 2000 and like what? It's like 12 years ago when I had my back and forth with Star. Shout out to Star, right? But he went on 50 Minutes of Fame. He started killing my name. And then I put out text messages and emails and said, here's my truth. You know what I'm saying? I learned that lesson all the way back then. And I've carried it forward because I was in a circle of business and an environment where there's a lot of fuck niggas. There's a lot of people that'll tell you one thing and then they'll get from around you and say something different. There's a lot of people that'll misconstrue stories. And your public reputation is on the line. If you're trying to sell a product, if you're trying to be a rapper, if you're trying to be a league owner, if you're trying to be a battle rapper, your reputation matters. So you be keeping files on niggas. Like, go ahead and act like I'm not sturdy or like I didn't do good business. And then I'm going to show the world that you lying on me. So the whole world does this, okay? You think that somebody don't got a screenshot with your name on it, you're lying, okay? But like I'm saying is, I don't think that that footage should have ever came out if that was to be received as an apology, right? Because once you put that footage out, this is where we start to paint the picture of Garci, and it's going to lead into Oschino. The picture of Garci is starting to be painted as you are a Meek Mill enforcer. You are a Meek Mill bodyguard. You are the person that if Meek Mill has a problem or doesn't like something, or if you say something bad about Meek Mill, you're the person that's gonna pop up. You're the person that's gonna ride out or pull up for Meek Mill. Nothing wrong with that. You want to ride for your man, ride for your man, right? But this is where the image of that starts to be painted. Okay. Now, I'm gonna bring up this new Oschino interview on Say Cheese, but before I get there, let me give you a little backdrop of the story. How did we get here with Oschino going on this campaign and totally violating Garci to the point where he's putting our accusations on him? Okay, yes, this gets worse, people. This gets much worse. How did we get here? So hearing from Oschino, because Oschino's been on his own channel riding on Garci for like at least a week, right? As per Oschino, he's saying the situation at hand is Garci hops in Oschino's DMs and says something to the effect of like, watch your mouth or whatever, right? Now, if you know Oschino and Meek Mill, you know, they came up together. Meek Mill was kind of under Oschino at a time. I even mentioned it on a stream the other day, you know, because it was relevant to a point I was making. Oschino has been taking shots and talking shit towards Meek Mill for forever because they had a situation where he felt like you came up under me. I was the one that gave you your first. I was the one that featured you on my mixtapes and did this, and you was my young boy. And then you got too big for yourself. You got to a certain spot, and then I asked you like, "Yo, man, now you up there? You know, I'm all the way down here. You got this mega fan base. Go ahead and post my upcoming project." And Meek then posted. And Oschino looked at it like, "You not posting my shit takes an opportunity for me to possibly make tens of thousands, 100,000, or get a type of exposure that I would have never had." So Oschino's been on his fucking Meek Mill's heels ever since then. He just looks at him as like, "You not thorough. I was your old head. I was the man that gave you all these opportunities, and I fucked with you from a genuine place. You didn't hold me down when the roles were reversed, and I look at you some sort of way ever since then." Oschino's talked about it in a million interviews. It's nothing new. Okay, it's nothing new. Now, Garci, if Garci is an enforcer, if he has that reputation for Meek Mill, that's the only way I would assume Oschino interpreted that DM from Garci. Yo, watch your mouth. Oh, it's like, oh, I knew Meek Mill before you. Oh, here you go. I did things with you and for you as well. Now you threatening me over me. Oschino looks at it like you're supposed to be minding your business, but Garci might be looking at it like this is my brother, and I don't give a fuck how long you knew him before I knew him. I'm here now. This is my brother now. I'm the one that steps up, right? So I don't know. I didn't hear Garci speak on it, but logically, that is what it looks like. So that happens. Oschino then says, "I'm giving you a whole month. I'm giving you like 30 days and 30 nights of me violating you on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna make money off of it, and I'm gonna expose you, and nobody's gonna want to fuck with you after that." And I saw some of the clips going around. I saw some of the shorts, and I was just like, "Damn, Oschino was on Garci's heels." But when I heard him get to the R allegation, I was just like, "Yeah, there's no returning from that." Call him a D sucker and all this type of stuff, trying to expose Garci for like that's Meek's house, that's Meek's car, and all this type of stuff. You this, you that. I'm just like, that type of stuff I think you get over. But the R allegation, I was just like, this is a new level. And me being a big follower and a fan of the Philly scene, I still left it alone. I still didn't, I was just like, you know, over on my channel, they're not following this story. You know what I'm saying? We over here talking about Lil Durk and ASAP and Jay-Z's case. You know, I'm gonna leave that alone, man. That's just my own. I'll follow that for me. And then I see Oschino do this, right? Oschino is now starting to go on large platforms. It goes on Say Cheese, and shout out to Say Cheese. This is already 15 hours ago. It's already stepping down towards 70,000 views. Okay. When I saw him pop up on Say Cheese yesterday, I said, "Oh man." And I click play. How long is this interview? It's it's almost 100 minutes, right? An hour and 40. So I, I clicked play and I was just like, man, I wonder if he's just going to explain the Garci situation to more ears and also to Philly and to everybody else that's in tune. Or is he going to go there to the stuff that he's also been saying on a smaller platform, his own YouTube channel? And boy, oh boy, Oschino snaps for the whole video and he goes in about the R allegations. So I'll play it for y'all so y'all can hear it with your own ears, and then we'll get back into another topic. Ugh.
But my thing is to say he was pressed, which they ain't what happened. Say he was pressed and all that shit, right? Sure, if you come to me apologizing to something, right, and I'm taking your apology as a man, I'm not putting it on the internet. I'm not gonna try to make you look like a sucker.
I agree.
I'm too thorough for that. I don't need to, because my thing is now you want, because you know why Garci did it? To show off for Meek, his boyfriend. Everything he do is to show off for Meek, bro. Knox never said one word about Garci. Mind you, Knox knew Meek before Garci. So yeah, he was in his wedding. Garci was in Knox's wedding. Right? So all this shit he doing, we all know each other, right? From music. Mind you, everybody was on my shit. Everybody. Knox, Garci, Meek. I mean, period. But my thing is this. When you gonna stop taking up for Meek? And so what it says is that Meek can start trouble. Just diss Chris for no reason. And if anybody say something about it, here come Garci. Well, Garci, you picked the wrong nigga to say something to. You nigga. That's how I feel. Fuck you, nigga. Don't you play with me, nigga. Don't you think you could say something to me? That mean you bullying me. You think you bully? You gonna come on my DM like you bullying me? Is you fucking crazy? You can't bully a nigga that just lost his son. A nigga that was about to kill himself last year. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm trying to fight to be positive. But any little thing make me go off the edge, off the rockers. You feel me? Especially when I know I ain't do nothing wrong. I'm not even talking to you. Yo, you gonna stop talking, being comfortable? Man, shut the fuck up, nigga. Now let's talk about the tape. Garci, we need to call Ice-T to get SVU in here. Now I told you, nigga, I'm gonna destroy you while you were living. To let niggas, mind you, let's talk about who this girl is that he raped, right? She worked at the barbershop I was at. Snow. Sorry this happened to you, baby. Snow is like a tomboy. She pretty, got a nice body, but she young. She work in the barbershop with all dudes. Me, shout out to Dink. Everybody in it like family. She been around all of us 1,000 times. I done took her home, been in my car. She like a little sister. We don't look at her like a sexual type thing, right? Now, Garci messed with her sister, right? So he can't hit her. He messed with her sister. So anyway, Snow loses her father, something like that. She trying to go to sell Garci some cars, right? She moved his house to sell some cars. Just to sell some. She's like, oh, I look at him the same way I look at you, like my big bro. That's how I looked at him. So this ain't a girl who don't like Garci. This a girl who looked at him as a big bro, right? She said, I went upstairs, I had a water on the table. I guess he laced the water or whatever, but I drunk that shit and went straight out for 8 hours. And she said, the reason I was devastated because the next day was my daughter's birthday party, right? So I missed her birthday. Like, I supposed to take her to New York. That's why I was trying to sell her cars to be able to take her to New York for her birthday. I wake up, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I get wherever I'm going to the bathroom with myself. Number two, right? I go to the bathroom, my shit shaved. I don't shave, my coochie shaved and all that, right? So whatever the nigga did, he shaved her. Went up in her butt with all this type of shit. She go to the bathroom myself. She go to the doctors and the police. Go to the police. My thing is this. In all my years of messing with females, they never accused me of no shit like that. Why would a girl that like you accuse you of that? Why? She ain't.
Yeah, Hey, chat, let me ask y'all a question. Is there any return between Oschino and Garci? Is there any return from that? Like, let's say regardless of which direction it happened in, if Garci goes on a big platform like Say Cheese and says this about Oschino, or Oschino says what he just said about Garci, is there any return from that? You know, like they even share a moment, Say Cheese, the interviewing, and Oschino, where they ask each other, like, is there anything worse than being called an artist, right? And they're like, it's up there with a snitch, and many times it's more, it's heavier. Like, is there any return from that? Marie says, hell no. Like, can you? He says, all right. Yesenia Brown says, why is he telling her story? That's a good question. I mean, when Oschino gets on these big platforms now and puts this story out to the rest of the world, um, I think that does create a situation where Garci or the woman, or I'm not saying Meek, but like if you're Meek, you see this, you know what I'm saying? Because this is your artist, this is your guy, this is your guy that you're walking around with, this is your friend, this is somebody that represents dream chasers. And let's say Meek and Garci already had a conversation about this, and they're like, "Yo, this is BS" or whatever, right? You still pay attention to the public factor, right? Because we're in the public, right? So what's the public doing with this type of information? You know, it's like how Big Meech, he was quiet for a second, and then all the pressure and all the public outcry made him finally sit down and say, "Look, man, I gotta address this," right? So this said, so James says she exposed Garcia on X. Nah, shaking my head, no. So back to Yasina Brown's question. Um, that was the backdrop that I painted of, you know, Garcia and Oschino getting into it, and Oschino hit one of the red buttons on Garci. You know what I'm saying? So an accusation like this, that's why I say there's no returning from this, from this type. Get on no cheese. I mean, say cheese, and you say this. How do they move forward? I don't think you can. I don't think you could shake hands. And the best thing that could happen between Oschino and Garci is they just avoid each other, and hopefully time heals it. Like maybe they cross paths 6 years from now and the energy is subsided. Right. There's no returning from, and I'm pretty sure Oschino knows that, and I'm pretty sure Garci probably feels away as well. I don't think Oschino give, if you listen to this whole interview, Oschino don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's highly, highly bothered, and he feels disrespected by Garci DMing him, and he feels he's in the right. So he's just like, yo, I'm going there. You know, so here's what I would mention about Garci, and also another reason why something like that needs to be addressed. And I'm not instigating like, oh Garci, we want to hear from you now. I'm just saying, like, if any man was in that position, in those shoes, Garci's position is what in Dream Chasers. So I watched an interview of him, and he said like he does A&R work over there. I heard an artist that he's signing, I believe, to his imprint that might be under Dream Chasers. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's his imprint. He has an imprint called Bando Babies, right? So, you know, I think the public perception ever since the Mike Knox video and Oschino coming out and say, oh, he DM'd me. There's other physical altercations that we've heard about, you know, like Deem, you know, and Garci, you know. So the public perception is, Garci, you are there to play the enforcer, right? But if you ask Meek Mill, if you ask Garci, I'm pretty sure they would say, no, I'm over here working with artists. I'm bringing something to the table for Dream Chasers. I'm signing artists. I'm working. I'm hitting these streets. I'm promoting, you know, and I respect that. Because here's the thing. I haven't heard any music from Garci since Ape Gang. So that's like maybe over 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I personally haven't heard any music from him. So I don't know if he's rapping. Now, as far as his artists, I can't name any of them. Not yet. And I hope I can. You know what I'm saying? I hope I can. You know, I don't got no issues with Ape Gang or Garci or Oschino. You know, outside of accusations like this, I want to see all these guys win, because I came up following them and listening to their shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at what Garci's position would be, as I see from the outside looking in, if you're playing A&R, you're signing artists, people like to get close to the man next to the man, right? If you can't get to the man next to the man will suffice. Groupies, artists, sponsors, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't talk to Jay, I don't mind talking to Beans. I can't talk to Master P, I don't mind talking to Silk the Shocker. I can't talk to Suge, you know, maybe I get a conversation with Pac, like whatever, you know. And Meek Mill still has a very, very big brand. He still is a very big name in the industry. And simply by standing right next to Meek Mill as Garci empowers him to go out with his Bando Babies and sign artists, right? People will be attracted to him knowing that you stand next to Meek Mills. I might get a Meek Mill feature. You might take off because you're with Meek Mills and I'll be with you. So these this is like indirect opportunities that people see, and it can be a valuable position if you play it the right way. If Garci plays it the right way, if he signs the right artist to his imprint, and it was all pushed and marketed and motivated because his affiliation with Dream Chasers, he could get somebody out of here. You know how many artists that we've heard from that are gone, and we don't necessarily know some of the people's behind. Who's from Chicago that retired and he got into real estate with a deep voice? Oh shit, he came up with G Herbo. I listen to this shit a lot too. People's hearing my description right now, they're gonna drop a comment. Oh man, what the fuck is his name? But anyway, he's behind certain movements and certain artists that you would never know, and you make money off of it. So I think Garci is in a thank you. That's why I love my chat. Thank you, Ricardo Haynes and Anthony Johnson, Lil Bibby, right? Lil Bibby. So no, not Lil Bibby, not the Bibby from that gets disrespected, that that's in that whole other war. I don't even want to go there, but yeah. So there is opportunity for Garci to play that type of role, but the only thing that the average eyes and ears are seeing and hearing lately is these drama moments and these issues, or Mike Knox as you being Meek Mill's enforcer. Now, I don't know Oschino personally. I don't know Garci personally. And I'm not here to give them, who am I? Here's my advice. But if it was me, I would question myself. If I was in Garci's shoes, I would question myself and I would say, okay, it's one thing to protect the bag. We know that concept and philosophy. Protect the leader, protect the bag, protect the plug, right? I get it. But do you really want to have the reputation of running down on anybody that has a problem with Meek Mill? Right? And to a degree, is that worth your health or your life or your family assuming that you're going to be holding them down and taking care of them? Also, is it worth it for Meek Mill? I don't know. Because a good leader also stops his soldiers from doing things that don't benefit the team. Okay? I don't know how Meek Mill's character is. I don't know if Meek Mill gets off on people that play with his name getting checked, or if he's a type of leader that says, nah. Pause that, we cool. Right? You know how many times I get calls because somebody say something about my name, and like, let's say battlers or people that fuck with me or call me and be like, yo, what's up with this nigga, man? I'll drop some shit on him right now, whatever. And I'll be like, it's not worth it. Like, I don't try to send the wolves every opportunity I get. Or I don't green light people every opportunity I get. You don't overuse your power in something that's not going to benefit the team or the circle. You have to be a good leader. You have to know when it's time to apply pressure, when it's time to say we're going to fall back, when it's time to say, oh, no, I got to jump out the window for my guy right here because he's being violated. Meek Mill being violated or being, I should say, disrespected or talked about by Oschino does nothing as far as how the average fan is going to consume Meek Mill's music. You want to know the type of shit that fans are watching to see whether they fuck with Meek Mill or not? It's all that industry level shit. Is XYZ rumor about Meek Mill and Diddy really true? Oh, it's the makeups or the breakups with Nicki Minaj. Is that his girlfriend? Is him and Rick Ross's album a good album or not? Like, these are the things that the average fans that are watching the industry are paying attention to as far as what moves the needle for Meek Mill. Do people fuck with him or do not people not fuck with him? You want to run down on somebody, Garci, that's really affecting Meek Mill by keeping his name in his mouth? It's academics, right? Oschino does nothing to Meek Mill's movement, nothing to his brand. And that's with all due respect to Oschino. I think that's just like a big brother, little brother thing. And Oschino just feels away. And he's like, I have the right to say what I want to say forever. And he's going to collect his YouTube coins based on it. He says it. He's like, I'm going to get paid off it too. The money that I didn't get when you posted me, I'm going to get paid from fucking talking shit about you. That's Oschino's words. It's small. It doesn't matter as far as Meek Mill's brand. That's one of them ones that if Meek Mill is this big guy in the industry as a leader, he's supposed to tell Garci, don't even put light on that. You can't, there's certain stones that don't even reach the house. Like, that's not worth it. Meek Mill's got to say that, and Garci got to know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm dead serious. Like, the only person I really see fucking up his brand that has a voice is academics. Go walk down on him. You know what I'm saying? Not Oschino, like, or Mike Knox. Like, Mike Knox supposedly said shit about Meek or whatever. And I get it. They got their own Philly circle, and a bunch of them still live in Philly. So maybe they feel the need to check those energies because they're all in the same environment. But what are we talking about here? We're talking about the real game being played. We're talking about the industry. We're talking about these millions and millions of dollars moving around. Garci's talking about his crib is plush and the cars that he's driving around with, right? I assume that a lot of that comes from your affiliations, whether it was given. Oschino says it's given to him from me. But even so, it still proves my point. That's the bracket that you guys need to focus on and operate in. You got to graduate from your local mentality of like, oh, we got to check Mike Knox because we're in the same city, or we got to check. You got to graduate from that, Garci and Meek Mill, both of y'all, whoever's green lighting or making these decisions to have this video come out with Mike Knox or DM Oschino, they're not affecting Meek. They're not affecting Meek. You know what I'm saying? So by doing this type of stuff, now if something does go left, Meek is hurt. If somebody gets hurt in the street, because now this is a very public beef and Oschino's going on a campaign, Vlad is probably next. He just did Say Cheese. He has a good relationship with Vlad. Oschino's probably going on Vlad next with this same story. I can see it coming, right? That's not worth it. That's not worth it. If somebody gets hurt and Meek ends up getting questioned in the box about it, that shit ain't worth it. You know, you guys got to operate up there. If Meek Mills is this big industry guy, operate up there. Make decisions for up there. Don't DM Oschino about, yo, the Oschino, you talking shit. For what? Graduate away from that shit. Leave that shit alone. Let Oschino talk his shit on his channel and everybody go their own way. He keeps saying, oh, Melly don't even challenge it. He's like, man, well, anybody think about that? So, Garci, why don't enforce with that? You got to have bigger fish to fry. And I'm not saying Oschino's small fish. I'm just talking about his disruption to what Meek got going on. That's small fish to fry. And videos like that, they don't need to come out for Mike Knox. You know how many people, Mike Knox is part of an era. You know how many people that are invested in the streaming world and the music world right now that don't know nothing that what Mike Knox ever did. They can't tell you one song that Mike Knox has ever made. They don't give two fucks about Mike Knox other than there's a controversial video out where a dream chaser is checking him and everybody gets to analyze the video and just be entertained by that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Now, Oschino saying the things that he said, I don't know if how you recover from those things or how that relationship gets mended from that. Maybe a fade in the backyard and then everybody go their separate way, hopefully. I don't know how that gets mended. But this is like one of those positive messages to like Garci. You know, you don't want the reputation of just walking down on people to play enforcer. You don't want that reputation. And you don't want it in the industry neither. You see that as you become a larger entity, you want to become the next Dame Dash, where people feel threatened by you or scared of you or they don't want to do business with you. You got to graduate from your local Philly mentality and be a bigger entity underneath Meek Mill as far as how you move. Pulling up on people in the bulletproof trucks with your hammer and all that to see what people is talking about. You need to graduate from that. Or you could bring down the whole operation. You know what I'm saying? And situations like with Oschino, now you got him out here talking about the type of allegations that make everybody turn around and look. That R-word stuff, for lack of better words, in today's era, it's damn near one of the hottest topics to talk about. All news channels want to talk about that type of accusation because of Diddy, because of Jay-Z. Like to have that on you right now, it's going to get blown up. Say Cheese, I'm telling you, Vlad is next. It ain't worth it, Goss. Like certain shit is to be left alone. But who am I?
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I drop it, connected to block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house up. And shout out to the members.
Without my thing, still got a gun.